So Matt Waletzko suffered a shoulder injury during the day 2 practices, and with it he didn't return. And as of this recording, we do not have any information on the severity of that, only hope that maybe, just maybe, it's not that big of a deal. Now, the biggest thing is that according to what's been said and what's been told, he's trying to be the swing tackle guy and the main backup behind Tyron Smith. Now, the other thing, too, is that you have a guy that you were trying to bank on being your swing tackle, but now, worst fears from myself coming alive as, if one of these guys gets hurt, and because you didn't sign a vet or someone in the offseason, now you could end up getting screwed over. Now, even if things are A-okay going forward for the Dallas Cowboys, this still bodes not well for them. So today we're going to just talk about a little bit on what the Cowboys should be doing and why I'm a bit worried about the whole if one person goes down, you're kind of screwed situation. But before we dive into that, if you can like this video, that'd be greatly appreciated. It doesn't take too long to do whatsoever. Helps perform better in the algorithm. Subscribe if you're new here or keep coming back. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers, so your subscription would be greatly appreciated as well. But yeah, so the Cowboys kind of went into this offseason, with Lyle gone, and basically you had Terrence Steele as your swing tackle, and now he's been promoted to that right tackle spot. The question is, okay, well, who is the guy for that? And I know many of us in the Twitter spaces, YouTube, everywhere were like, hey, you need to get a vet swing tackle, but the Cowboys didn't do that. Instead, they drafted Matt Waletzko, and the indication is that he's been working even before this training camp. He's been working to be the swing tackle. You also have a guy in Josh Ball who the Cowboys are trying to work with to see if they got anything there. But the biggest problem is in similar to the James Washington injury, even though they've made a couple moves, is that if that person gets hurt, you don't have anyone else there in their place. So then you are in the situation to where if Matt Waletzko is seriously hurt and then Tyron has something go up, now you're just playing musical chairs with the offensive line again, and we can't afford that. Now, I understand that that's different because you're moving people around that are healthy. But, again, you need to have a plan in place, and the Dallas Cowboys not signing a free agent swing tackle, regardless of how you feel on it, that is not good due diligence, Mr. Stephen Jones. You need to sign a backup swing tackle. And I don't care what happens, even if Matt Waletzko is fine, you need to bring someone in here who is a vet. Like we had Ty Neshke last year. Even though he didn't have a lot of playing time, that game when he came in, and that's the Minnesota game, he played good enough to get the job done. And that's exactly what you need in a swing tackle. With you not having that, you can get screwed over. And this is exactly what I'm worried about, is that this minor thing will highlight the key thing that happens for the Cowboys down the road, especially during the season, and all their, even if it's not this position group, like wide receiver, you could talk about linebacker, like what happens if Jabril Cox gets hurt? Wide receiver, what happens if Michael Gallup continues to be hurt? When someone else goes down, like James Washington. You see what I'm getting at here? So for me, I think that the Dallas Cowboys really, really, really need to consider signing a backup swing tackle. And right now, you kind of saw in the Tampa Bay, in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers training camp, they just had Ryan Jensen, their starting center, get hurt. And seriously hurt. And we don't know the severity of that injury yet. But this is exactly, and I get that injuries happen, but you need to be prepared. So put names down in the comment section below who you think the Cowboys should try to go after in free agency. And with that being said, and I'm not saying like go get these best guys, but who are swing tackles that you think that the Cowboys should look at adding, or do they already have their guys on roster? Feel free to put that down below, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, you'll see my little logo. If you haven't subscribed already and reached the end, hit that little button and subscribe. And hit that little screen in the middle that has the last video in case you missed out on it. Alrighty, guys. Have a great rest of your night. Goodbye.